God's chosen ones, stop and listen. The real reason you've been single is finally revealed. Chosen of God. Stop, listen. This is not an ordinary night. Heaven has circled this very hour. The clock is striking, the veil is thinning, and your name is echoing in eternity. You have wondered why doors slammed shut. You have questioned the silence that dragged on for so long. But tonight, September 14th, that secret will not remain hidden any longer. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Your loneliness was never punishment. It was placement. It was heaven's holy arrangement. And if right now these words are reaching your ears, it means the seal is being broken. Mark it. Type 7 and 5 in the comments as a sign that you are ready, because what is about to unfold in the next few minutes can change everything. Chosen one. Tonight may feel quiet around you, but in the spirit realm, nothing is still. The wind brushes against your curtain. The clock ticks forward. Each second is heaven's whisper leaning closer, calling your name. You think you stumbled on this video by chance, but you didn't. God himself has brought you here, not for distraction, not for entertainment, but so you would hear the very thing he has hidden until now. The veil is lifting. For years you walked through loneliness. Doors that looked wide open slammed shut in your face. People you trusted vanished without reason. You called it rejection. You called it bad luck, but heaven called it protection. When you cried in the night, when your tears soaked the pillow, you thought God was silent. But his silence was not absence, it was strategy. It was a holy pause, a sacred preparation, making you ready for something greater than you imagined. Chosen one. The fact that you are hearing this now is proof. This is your confirmation. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. Your name is carved into heaven's calendar, written in fire. And tonight, September 14th, is the appointed moment. The hour when hidden things come into the light. The hour when the truth about your season of singleness is revealed. It was never delay. It was never accident. It was assignment. Prepare your heart, because in the next few minutes you will understand every tear, every closed door, every lonely night. And you will see it for what it was, all along heaven's design, bringing you to this exact moment. Part 1, the warning and the unveiling. Chosen one. Stop and listen. These words are not reaching you by accident. Tonight, September 14th, heaven and earth converge, and the silence that has stretched within you is about to be explained. This is not just another date on a calendar. This is a seal. This is the moment when the veil between what you see and what heaven has been arranging for you is being lifted. You have carried so many questions in your heart. Why did those you loved walk away? Why did doors that opened before you suddenly slam shut? Why, in the long nights, did you feel abandoned, unseen, forgotten? There were times you whispered to yourself, "Has God forgotten me?" and your tears fell, as if no one noticed. But hear me now, every tear has been recorded. Every sigh in the dark has reached the courts of heaven. Chosen one, do not be afraid. The loneliness you have endured was never rejection, it was refinement. It was not punishment, it was a holy assignment. You thought you were delayed, but in truth, you were being protected. Those who left you did not leave because you were unworthy. They left because you were too valuable to be trapped in counterfeit connections. Empty promises, fleeting romances, smiles that drained your soul rather than lifted it. All of these were never meant to follow you into your next chapter. That is why God closed those doors. Do you remember so many times you almost stepped into a new relationship, but everything collapsed just when you thought it was secure? You felt the pain. You blamed yourself. You thought you lacked something. But look again with spiritual eyes. Every collapse was a rescue. If those doors had stayed open, they would have locked you in old cycles and kept you from stepping into a higher destiny. Chosen one, here is the truth you must hear tonight. Your long waiting has been an invisible shield, a shield heaven placed around your heart to guard you from false love, from hands that only wanted to take but never to keep. You thought you were left behind, but in reality, you were lifted beyond the reach of those who were never worthy of you. When you sat alone in that dark room, clutching a pillow wet with tears, you believed no one heard your cries. But the truth is, heaven was silent so that you could hear your own strength. God did not abandon you. He gave you a sacred space to learn how to stand without crutches, to discover the true voice of your soul. There was a moment that made your heart tremble. Remember the night you looked up at the sky, or the day you saw 757 flash before you on a receipt, on a clock, on a sign. You shivered. You thought it was coincidence. But from heaven's side it was a whisper. You are chosen. You are on the right path. You are not alone. Those signs were not accidents. They were codes. The heartbeat of God reminding you your journey is under His careful watch. Chosen one, I tell you, do not despise the silence. Do not dismiss the empty seasons. For in the very stillness the seeds of destiny were planted. Your waiting has not been wasted. It has been holy ground where God sowed the future. If He allowed you to pass through these long nights, it is because He knew you had the strength to carry the blessing that is coming. And now, as September 14th unfolds, you are standing at the threshold. This is no longer a time for regret, for looking back, for blaming the closed doors. This is the moment to lift your head, place your hand on your heart, and declare, I am chosen. Breathe slowly. Let every word soak deep into your soul. Remember, no tear was wasted, no night was forgotten, and the loneliness you embraced has been the refining fire, turning you into pure gold, strong enough to stand beside the one God has prepared for you, not just a companion, but a partner in your calling. Chosen one, if you still doubt, look back at your journey. Every no you received, every disappointment you endured was heaven's whisper. Do not stop here, for the true blessing has not yet arrived. And tonight, that truth is declared clearly. You are not delayed. You are not rejected. You are right on heaven's schedule, so prepare yourself. From this moment forward, every breath you take, every step you walk is bringing you closer to the appointed door. And when that door opens, it will not open halfway. It will burst wide, shining with glory, and you will understand every weight, every wound, every silence. It was all leading you here. Chosen one. Type Amen or 787 in the comments right now as a seal that you are ready to cross the threshold, for tonight the silence ends and your true story begins. Part 2. Loneliness is refinement. Chosen one. You have asked why your journey feels so long, why loneliness clings to you like a night that refuses to lift. You look around and see others paired together, their prayers answered swiftly, yet you remain waiting, walking alone, swallowing tears in silence. But tonight, I tell you, your loneliness was never punishment. It has been the refining fire. As gold must pass through the flames to shed its impurities, so your soul has had to pass through the silence to strip away the fragments, the dependencies, the unhealed wounds, until only the purest, strongest, brightest part of you remained. You thought you were delayed, but in truth you were being preserved for something far greater. Those doors that slammed shut before you, those people who left when you thought they would stay forever. None of that happened because you were not enough. It happened because you were too precious to be misplaced. I would not allow false connections to chain you. I would not allow empty promises to drain your light. I would not let your heart be handed to hands too weak to guard it. So instead of opening a path, I built a hedge. You called it rejection, but it was protection. You called it delay, but it was preparation. Chosen one, remember the nights you sat alone in the dark, with no words left to pray, only sighs, and your head bowed low. You thought no one heard, no one saw, no one cared. But in the very moment you exhaled in despair, a strange stillness covered you like an unseen hand touched your shoulder and whispered, "I am here." That was no imagination. It was the confirmation that your loneliness has never been meaningless. It was the place I used to whisper to draw you out of the noise, to teach you to hear me more clearly. While the world only creates clamor, my silence became the music that carried you into the sacred. If love had come too soon, while your heart was still bleeding, you would have clung to it like a crutch. You would have looked for your identity in someone else instead of finding it in me. And at the first gust of wind, it all would have collapsed, crushing you again. I did not allow that to happen. That is why I let you walk alone, so you would learn how to stand, how to smile with no one beside you, how to find joy in the breath I placed within you. And now, because of that refining, you are no longer a child panicking at the loss of attention. You have become a soul that knows it is chosen, loved, and protected. Chosen one, perhaps you remember a day when your heart was heavy, when you walked that familiar road and saw couples hand in hand. A wave of sorrow rose and you cried, "Lord, why only me?" And at that very moment the wind stirred, leaves swirled around your feet, and in that breeze was a whisper. You were never alone. You stopped, tears streaming, trembling. Though no one was near, you knew someone was present. That was the evidence your loneliness was never empty space. It was the field where I planted new faith. Loneliness has forged you into strength. It has given you patience the world cannot understand. It has taught you to believe, even when you cannot see. It has trained you to rise after every fall. Others only saw the silence around you, but in truth, that silence has become power within you, and that power will be your armor when you step into true love. You will not seek salvation in human arms. You will arrive whole, and when the right one comes at the appointed time, you will not cling, you will walk alongside. You will share, not only take, you will build, not only depend. Chosen one, tonight, as you hear these words, let your heart lay down its old burdens. Do not despise your season of loneliness. Do not see it as an empty void to fill quickly. It has been the waiting room of destiny, the carefully prepared space for you. When you understand this, your pain will change shape. It will no longer be a burden, it will become testimony. No longer a wound, it will become a scar of victory. Whisper with me now, I am ready. I know my loneliness has been refinement. I know I was never abandoned. As you declare, this darkness trembles because you have discovered the secret. It never wanted you to know that loneliness has never chained you. It has been the wings lifting you closer to heaven. Chosen one, from this moment, look back at your journey with new eyes. Do not call it delay, call it preparation. Do not call it rejection, call it protection. Do not call it loss, call it refinement. And when you rename your wounds, they will become doors. And through those doors, you will step into the chapter already written for you. Part 3. You were guarded, never abandoned, chosen one. This is what I must affirm to you tonight. You have never and will never be abandoned. What you called rejection was, in fact, guarding. The doors that closed did not shut because you were unworthy, but because you were too valuable to be placed in the wrong hands. How many times did you think you found safe harbor, only for it to shatter in an instant? You hurt, you fell, you even doubted yourself. But look again with spiritual eyes. Every collapse was a rescue. Had you been allowed to cling to what was not yours, you would have lost precious years bound in cycles you were never born to live in. That is why I shielded you. Chosen one, you once cried in the night, God, where are you? Why are you silent? But my silence was not neglect. My silence was the loudest voice. I am here. I am keeping you. You felt empty space, but it was my invisible arms surrounding you. You thought you were left behind, but you were lifted higher out of reach. from those not strong enough to walk with you. Perhaps you remember the night you sat on your bed, eyes blurred with tears, heart heavy, and suddenly in the quiet, you sensed a breath, a warmth wrapping around you. You thought it was only the trick of a weary heart, but it was my presence. It was the confirmation that I had never left. Even when you did not feel me, I was beside you, guarding every step, every tear, every faint whisper of your soul. Chosen one, I know you thought yourself invisible. You walked among crowds and felt unseen, but in heaven, your name has never faded. It is carved into my hand. It is sung in the hymns of angels. You are not invisible. You are surrounded by attention and love unseen by human eyes. Those who left were not a loss, they were a cleansing. They could not handle the new self rising in you. They belonged to a chapter that has already closed, while you are stepping into a chapter never written before. I would not allow anyone to drag old wounds into your new season. So I let them go. Better a moment of pain than a lifetime in chains. Chosen one, look again at every time you thought you were left behind. They were the very moments I went before you, closing doors unworthy of you. You thought you were delayed, but you were on time. You thought you were forgotten, but your name was called in the heavenly council. You thought you were not enough, but you have always been kept for something beyond your comprehension. When I look at you, I do not see an abandoned soul. I see a treasure locked safely in my vault. I see a crown veiled, waiting for the appointed hour to be placed upon your head. And tonight I pull back the curtain so you can see you have always been guarded. Your loneliness has not been a pit, it has been an embrace. My silence has not been neglect, it has been a wall of safety. And every tear has not been wasted, it has watered the seeds of a new season. Chosen one, let these words carve deep into your heart. You are not rejected, you are protected. You are not abandoned, you are held. You are not forgotten, you are called by name. Tonight is the evidence. If you are hearing these words, it is the sign that I have always guarded you. Breathe, release the fear. Let your heart be comforted, because you were never alone. You were never left behind. You have always been chosen. Part 4, Counterfeit Loves and Empty Promises. Chosen one. It is time I pull back the veil and show you the true enemy of your soul. You thought the enemy was loneliness, but no, it is more subtle than that. The enemy wears the mask of love cloaked in sweet promises, yet beneath the surface is a snare. These are counterfeit loves, fleeting entanglements, words that drip like honey but leave a bitter aftertaste that will not fade. You have touched them, believed them, given yourself, and were left with wounds that cut deep. You called it failure, but tonight I tell you this. I allowed your eyes to see the enemy's true face. Chosen one, do you remember the time you believed you had found someone who would stay forever? They spoke in shining promises, painted a warm future. Your heart blazed. Your hope felt reborn. But soon after, it all collapsed. You felt used, drained, abandoned again. You asked, why did God let me hurt like this? The truth is, I exposed them so you would not imprison your life in counterfeit chains. If you had stayed, you would have lost more than you know. If you had bound your heart to false love, it would have stolen the fire I placed within you. So I let the truth come to light. Chosen one, some people entered your life, not to lift you, but to possess you. They came to drink your light and then leave when you had nothing left. They used sweet words to cover the fact that they never intended to walk with your calling. They wanted your warmth, but not the responsibility for your soul. I did not allow that to continue. So when everything fell apart, do not call it my betrayal, call it exposure. I showed you plainly not everyone is worthy of the fire in you, chosen one. I know it hurts to remember the shattered dreams, the unanswered calls, the promises that never became real. But understand this, what you lost was not true love. It was only its shadow. It was not destiny. It was the enemy's poor imitation. It stirred excitement, but never left peace. It made your heart race for a moment, then abandoned you to confusion and emptiness. And I love you too much to let you stop there. From this day forward, learn the difference. Counterfeit love always disorders your soul. True love always brings deep peace. Counterfeit love spins you into anxiety. True love lifts you and makes you stronger. Counterfeit love makes you strain and cling. True love never needs force. You have tasted both, and now you know. Those wounds, though they hurt you, have become holy lessons, so you will not be deceived again. Chosen one, I say this tonight, so you will not be confused. When the next door opens, when the one I have prepared for you steps in, you will recognize them at once, because they do not come to share only a room, a bed, or a roof. They come to share a mission. They will shoulder the weight with you and build what is eternal with you. True love is not a brief tremor. It is a steadfast companionship, and everything you suffered through with counterfeit love was to make you sharp enough to discern the difference. Do not go back. Do not reopen the door I have closed because of loneliness. Do not hand your heart to hands that only exploit just to taste a temporary warmth. You have come too far and endured too much to return. From now on, face the future with clear eyes, knowing the enemy has been unmasked, and you have the strength not to fall into its traps again. Speak this in faith: I will not go back. I will not choose counterfeit love. I will only step into what is true, what God has for me. As you say it, angels rejoice, darkness trembles, and your destiny takes another step into the light. Part 5. True love and a shared mission. Chosen one. After the long days of testing, after counterfeit loves were unmasked and empty promises dissolved like mist, it is time I show you the outline of the true reward. This is not the reward you once imagined, some brief comfort, a quick patch for the emptiness. No, the reward I promised is true love, a love bound to mission. It does not come merely to soothe your loneliness, but to walk with you in a work larger than yourself. This person does not arrive only to hold your hand in sweet moments, but to build with you, to weather storms with you, to lift the light I have placed inside you. This reward is not a perfect person, but the one ordained to fit your soul. They carry a fire like yours. They know how to listen to heaven's call as you do. And when two such flames meet, they do not burn only for themselves. They illuminate an entire expanse. This love will grant you not only personal joy, but purpose. It will pull you out of the endless loop of empty seeking and set you in the orbit of destiny. You will recognize this true love because it is unlike anything that came before. It will not demand that you prove your worth. It will not exhaust you with suspicion. It will not make you lie awake fearing you are not enough. Instead, it will bring you peace. It will lift you rather than diminish you. It will strengthen your faith rather than erode it. And this very difference will bring you to tears because you will know at last the waiting was never in vain. Chosen one, true love also brings responsibility. It is not mere enjoyment. It is companionship in a greater work. You and this person will not simply be two who found each other. You will be two warriors assigned to the same front. I do not join you merely so you can be privately happy. I join you so you can complete the mission. And when you grasp this, you will understand why the waiting had to be long. For two souls to meet and move as one in purpose, both must be prepared, refined, and brought into maturity. Picture this: one day you wake and realize the peace within you is not only because you learn to live alone, it is because you sense another soul praying in rhythm with yours, walking the same direction. Someone who does not make you lose yourself, but helps you find your brightest self. Someone who does not slow your steps, but urges you farther. someone who loves you not merely for what you have, but for the calling you carry. That is the reward. Hold this faith tight. When you see the signs, hear the call, and feel that presence, know the waiting has ended. But do not forget, true love always arrives with purpose. It will ask for courage, sacrifice, and patience. In return, it will lead you into a fullness you have never known. Then, when you look back at every closed door and every heartbreak, you will whisper, "Thank you, God, for keeping me until this day." Chosen one, the reward is not only a companion. The reward is the proof you were never abandoned, that every solitary step led you to this moment. The reward is true, love bound to a true mission, and when it comes, you will finally understand why the long road of loneliness was so necessary. Part 6, 700 of Baldi's 7 Dreams and the Silence That Speaks. Chosen one. After hearing about the promised reward, now I want to open your eyes to the clear signs heaven has already been sending you. For God has never let you walk in darkness without leaving a trace. From the very start of your journey, you saw repeating numbers, strange dreams, and moments of silence that suddenly became sacred. You thought they were coincidences, but I tell you the truth. They were codes from heaven. Chosen one, have you noticed? How many times did you glance at the clock and see 7, 7, or 11, 11, or 2, 22? How many times did a receipt carry the number 7? You shivered for a moment, wondering if it meant something, but then dismissed it. Tonight I confirm this to you. 707 is heaven's signature of alignment. It is not random. It is the whisper that you are on the right path, that time has not slipped, that the universe is orchestrating to bring you into fullness. Every time you see 707, remember, it is not your eyes wandering, it is heaven guiding your gaze at the exact moment to remind you you are chosen, you are not lost. And not just numbers, there have been dreams. Do you remember the ones that repeated dreams, where you walked toward a radiant door but never stepped through? Dreams where you stood on a shore, waves crashing, and yet no one beside you. These dreams did not come to confuse you, but to plant expectation. That door is the threshold you are about to cross. That shore is the preparation ground where you learn to stand firm against the tide before your companion arrives. Chosen one, dreams are the language of the soul, and your soul has been guided even in sleep. And there is another sign, one you have often overlooked: silence. You resented the silence, thought it was emptiness. But silence speaks. Each time you found yourself sitting in stillness, no calls, no messages, no noise disturbing you, know that it was a holy appointment. In the silence I come nearest. In the silence you hear my whisper clearer than ever. When stillness covers you, do not see it as isolation. See it as an invitation to sit, to breathe, to listen. Chosen one, these signs were meant to reassure you that your waiting has never been in vain. I did not leave you blind. I left breadcrumbs of light along the path. Every repeating number, every dream, every moment of quiet, all of them were guidance. From now on, when you see 787, whisper, "I agree." When you dream of the door, say, "I am ready to enter." When silence surrounds you, place your hand on your heart and know, "I am there." This is no game. This is no superstition. This is sacred code, the way heaven and earth speak with you. Guard your spirit, for when you recognize the sign, darkness loses its power to deceive. And when you affirm the sign, you align yourself with heaven's flow. Tonight, let your soul open wide and see clearly you were never abandoned. You are being guided step by step, moment by moment, by the very hand of the one who chose you before the world began. Part 7, Closed Doors Are Hidden Blessings, Chosen One. Now I must tell you a secret you have not seen for years. The doors that closed in your life were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to protect you. Every time you stood before an opportunity that looked perfect, only for it to vanish. You called it loss, but heaven called it hidden rescue. You saw a relationship collapse, but I saw a future cut off before it could ruin your soul. You saw a dream crumble, but I saw a wrong path being blocked. You saw tears, but I saw preservation. Chosen one, remember the time you thought you found the one. You opened your heart, hoped again, painted the future. But in a moment it fell like sandcastles to the tide. You cried, you raged, you asked why. And tonight I answer because I loved you too much to let your heart be imprisoned in false love. If that door had stayed open, it would have chained you, stolen the light I placed in you. I could not let it happen. So I closed it, even when you did not understand. Every rejection you received was a shield. Every abandonment was an unseen arm pulling you away from disaster. You thought you were pushed out, but truly you were pulled out from storms you did not even know were waiting. Every time you lost your way, it was my hand steering you so you would not fall into a pit. Chosen one, picture this. If one door had not closed, where would you be today? Would your soul still be pure? Would you still have strength to receive the true reward? Or would you have been drained by empty promises, bound in cycles that never lead to light? Every tear you shed before a closed door was a shout of victory in heaven, because you had just been saved. You may not see it, but every no of the past was saving you for a single perfect yes in the future. You may not understand, but every loss was cleansing your heart of what never belonged. You may not have felt it, but every silence of mine was the loudest answer. You are protected. So, chosen one, from this night, look at closed doors with gratitude, not bitterness. Whisper in faith, "Thank you, Lord, for keeping me." Remember, every ending was not a finale. It was a beginning you could not yet see. Tonight, let your heart be still. Let the tears fall if they must. But know this, you are not losing. You are being guarded. You are being shielded. You are being protected by a love greater than you can imagine. Never mistake it again. A closed door is not a sentence, it is a shield. It is an embrace. It is the mark of a God who loves you enough to let you hurt for a moment rather than suffer for a lifetime. And each time you stand before something that shuts tight, lift your head and say, "I know I am protected." For that faith itself will swing wide, the right door, the one where true blessing waits. Part 8. Love is an assignment, not just companionship. Chosen one. Now that you understand the closed doors were shields of protection, I want you to see a deeper truth. Love is not just companionship, it is assignment. You were not preserved all this time, merely to find a hand to hold in your loneliness, but to be prepared for someone who will help you carry a divine calling. True love does not simply fill the empty space, it hands you a mission. When I kept you from false loves, it was so your heart would not be drained by the small and temporary, so that at the appointed time you could walk with the one I destined for you, someone who will not only love you, but partner with you in fulfilling purpose. Chosen one, think of it this way. If love were only for comfort, how could it ever match the weight of the preparation you have endured? Those years of solitude were not just for patience, they built in you the awareness that you are chosen for something greater. The one I send will not only say, "I love you," or "you are mine." Together you will say, "We belong to God. We are sent together." This is what the enemy fears most, a couple rooted in mission. So live as one on assignment even now. Guard your energy like treasure. Do not pour your light into meaningless conversations. Do not reopen old cycles. Say no when your soul feels drained, for the right no is a greater yes to destiny. Walk as a warrior, prepared, not as a wanderer waiting in anxiety. Chosen one, can you see it? Every wound you thought was wasted actually trained you to discern truth from imitation. Every long night you thought was empty actually built endurance so you would not collapse when storms arrive. Now when true love comes, you will not be a fragile soul, clinging in fear. You will be steady, knowing your worth, ready to shoulder the weight alongside another. Love is assignment. It is a mission heaven entrusts, not a game of the flesh. You were not prepared all this time for a fleeting romance. You were prepared to wield love as a weapon, as a light, as a living testimony. When you step into true love, the world around you will notice the change, for it will not only make you happy, it will make you useful for the kingdom. Chosen one, from this day see love with new eyes. Do not ask who will make me happy. Ask who will complete the mission with me. Do not ask who will fill my emptiness. Ask who will carry light with me into the world. When you shift your view, you will realize nothing has been wasted. All was preparation for what is coming. And tonight, as you hear this, let your heart whisper, I am ready not just to be loved, but to love and fulfill the mission. As you declare, this darkness trembles, for it knows you no longer seek love as a hiding place, but as a holy assignment. And that is the moment you truly step into the role of the chosen. Part 9. You already passed a new frequency. Chosen one, I must whisper this truth into your soul again so you never forget. You already passed. You are no longer standing in the line of those still being tested. You have walked the full path of refinement. You have endured the fire, survived the silence, outlasted the waiting. And now in heaven the decree has been spoken. You already passed. You are no longer searching for validation. You are already certified. Chosen one, so many times you thought you failed. So many times you felt discarded. But the truth is, every time you thought you lost, you were moving closer to this confirmation. The enemy wanted you to believe you were defeated, but heaven saw that in every tear you proved your strength. In every silence you showed your faithfulness. In every lonely night you learned to stand with no one but God. And that is victory. Remember the moments you nearly gave up, but some unseen strength held you back. You thought it was stubbornness, but it was grace. Grace kept you from leaving the race. Grace kept you alive to hear these words tonight. Not everyone made it this far. Some gave up trading light for comfort, but you did not. And because of that, heaven now declares you already passed. Chosen one, from now on, do not let your mouth repeat, I am not enough, I am abandoned, I am lost. Instead, let your soul proclaim, I already passed, I am chosen, I have reached the threshold. When you speak it, it is not only words, it is frequency. And when frequency shifts, the universe responds. This is the secret darkness fears most, that when you declare you already passed, chains fall, locked doors swing open, lies go silent. Chosen one, feel this shift in your very body. Place your hand on your heart and sense the beat. It is no longer the rhythm of one still waiting. It is the rhythm of one prepared. Take a deep breath. You are breathing in a new atmosphere. Things around you may look the same, but within you, everything has changed. And that is the turning point. Transformation never begins outside. It begins in the frequency you carry inside. Let these words become your anthem. I am no longer behind. I have already passed. I am no longer bound. I am already free. I am no longer waiting to be chosen. I was chosen from the beginning. Each time you declare this, darkness trembles because the deception is broken. And angels rejoice, for they see the crown already resting on your head. Tonight, as you hear this, exhale every lingering doubt. Let it fall like ashes. Open your heart to the new truth you already passed. From here, you step into the season of confirmation, of unveiling, of fullness. Chosen one, type it in the comments as a seal, I already passed. When you write it, it does not just appear on a screen, it echoes in heaven, it engraves into your destiny. Chosen one, you have come far enough to know nothing can steal this truth. You already passed, and from here the doors will open wide. Part 10, A New Season, opens the door, swings wide, chosen one. After hearing the confirmation that you have already passed, now it is time I show you the final promise. A new season is opening, and the door before you will no longer remain half closed. It will not crack just enough to leave you uncertain, wavering between two shores. When the moment comes, the door will swing wide, light will flood in, and you will know instantly this is the very moment you prayed for, waited for, and wept for. No more doubt, no more hesitation, no more asking, "Is this it?" For when the true blessing arrives, it will be as unmistakable as sunrise chasing away the night. Chosen one, I promise you this: when that door opens, you will not need to knock again. You will not need to beg anyone to let you in. You will not need to twist yourself to fit a frame that was never built for you. This door was crafted for you, measured for your destiny, and it will open simply at your presence. And when you walk through, you will understand that none of the waiting was wasted. You will look back at every loss, every lonely night, every tear, and instead of asking why, you will whisper, "Thank you, Lord, for leading me here." Chosen one, the new season will not arrive as a passing breeze. It will come like a flood of light, like a field bursting into bloom after a long winter. You will see the change in your spirit first, then in the atmosphere around you, and finally in the daily reality you touch. From now on, you will no longer walk as a seeker, but as one who has found. You will no longer beg in desperation, but declare in faith. You will no longer look back with regret, but forward with gratitude. Let your heart hold this promise: the new season opens, and no one can shut it. When I open, no one can close. When I bless, no one can stop it. You will see clearly that your waiting was not delay, but preservation. That my silence was not abandonment, but sacred pause. That your loneliness was not emptiness, but armor to keep you whole for this very day. Chosen one, mark this tonight: you are chosen, you have already passed, and you now stand before the wide open door. This is no dream, no illusion. This is the real season. This is the final promise. Prepare yourself, for when you step through, not only will your life be changed, but the world around you will see light bursting from you. Speak it now. In faith, I am ready to step into the new season. As you say it, heaven resounds, amen, and the universe aligns to welcome you into what was ordained from the beginning. Chosen one, the door is open. The new season has begun. You do not have to wait anymore. This is your appointed time. Now I want you to breathe deeply and let your soul grow still. Everything you have just heard is not mere words. It is a sacred message delivered straight to your heart. You have walked through the dark. You have endured the silence. You have survived the fire. And tonight you hear the confirmation: you were never abandoned. You were always guarded. You have overcome. And now the new door stands wide before you. Let every fear melt away. Do not carry your past into the future. Do not hold on to the lies that once made you doubt yourself. Step into this new dawn with courage and faith. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. You are not delayed, you are right on heaven's time. You are not empty, you are filled. And this new season is the ripened promise within your soul. Chosen one, if this word touches your heart, let your tears fall as release. Do not hold them back. Let them water the soil where new seeds will rise. And as soon as you feel the stirring within, type Amen or 7 in the comments as a public declaration that you are ready. When you do, it will not just appear on a screen, it will echo in heaven, sealing your destiny. Do not keep this word to yourself. Someone else tonight is crying in the dark, asking why they are alone, longing for the same confirmation you just received. Share this message so another soul may be lifted, so another may know they are chosen, loved, and guarded. Chosen one. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are protected. You have already passed, and your new season has begun. Step into it with faith and gratitude. If this message has touched you, write Amen in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you will not miss tomorrow's word. And share this so another may know they too are chosen. You are here tonight not by chance. This is a divine appointment. This is the night God whispers to your soul, you have always been held. And now, step in.